my Saturday. Even theoretically, it's actually Friday for the rest of the people who have to go in on work on Friday. Odd week this week, really odd. Not work-wise has been okay, but it's just when I say by odd. Like last night, just to give you an example, me and with the group of people that I'm working with at work, we deal with monitoring clients, servers, doing what we have to do, and sometimes they have to do patches and the typical, security thing that they need to do. It ended up that one of the clients' servers tended to go a little cuckoo crazy, and it was like we were just getting slammed with different messages coming in and saying, "Oh, there's a problem here, there's a problem there, there's a problem here, there's a problem," and here we are, we're not going crazy in the literal sense, but wondering what the heck has happened. No notification whatsoever saying, look, we're doing some repair work here, or we're doing something to the server. Ignore the things coming in. And it was like, you're all looking, like in awe. In regards to it, it's like, most of the guys, looks like, what do we do? It's like, we're speaking with the engineers, getting things, trying to figure out, what the heck is happening. And everything cooled down afterwards. This was supposed to be in middle of our shift. And after that, everything was perfectly fine. But still, we were just going out of our way and seeing all these all these messages come up. No notification. It happens. That they forgot to tell us, or at least notify us, letting us know, saying, "Oh yeah, we're doing this." So it's like we tend to go a little story crazy sometimes, trying to figure out what's happening. Even with one of our engineers, he told us, it's like, I'm doing updates on a particular server for this client. It's going to be down 4 to 6 hours. Get the updates done. Just ignore the warnings, So it's like, okay. I mean, sometimes you tend to, honestly, you tend to forget, that certain things are happening, which is totally fine. I accept that. So we tend to have a little brain fart on the occasion. So after that being done, finally sent out the notification for the billiards tournament for the group. So I'm going to hopefully see what's going to happen with the other guys, to see if they're actually going to test it out, see if it's worth a while. It's been one of those things that has been in the works in getting that done. Tomorrow I'm hoping and I'm praying that my friend and colleague, will be able to make it for billiards tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get that done at dispatch. So right now I'm actually heading over to Care for a while to get some exercise, because that's always a must in my life. Something like that I need to get done on a daily basis. If I don't do it, kind of regretting that I didn't do it. So that's the one thing I need to get done for my exercise. I know most people say, well, why do you do so much exercise? It's to keep to keep track of my weight, try to stay slim and trim, and it's become a daily ritual. So I wasn't doing as much as I was doing beforehand, where I was doing like 50,000 steps, but still just to be able to keep it up there in regards to the exercise and all that. So that's one thing I need to get done on a daily basis, whether I like it or also going to see, I'm going to see if I can actually pass by the scratch today. Hopefully I'll get one of those guys always looking around, wanting to play a free game of pool and all that. Because for the simple fact, when I'm there, I'm going to play on my own, play alone, and do what I want to do. Most of the cases, these guys like to come around and do some hustling. And I'm not really into hustlers per se. If it's a friend and we're joking around and all that, or a colleague, and we're just having a good time, then yeah, that's a different story. But for something like this, especially when you're playing at a pool hall, you just want to sometimes spend time alone doing what you like to do. So that's one thing I've learned in regards to things like this. So not many people understand that, you're with friends, it's different. When you're doing it alone, or you're at a pool hall alone. Myself, I like playing pool sometimes too, just for the fact that I can get it done there without any hassles. And I'm trying to redo my skills in pool to enjoy myself. It's one of those things there that once again you need to have that mindset. I'm really trying to get back into playing pool as a regular thing for myself. Just to be sharp on what I'm doing there. So yeah, I have to go to the bank first. So give me a few moments there. I'll be right back. We'll continue on from there. Okay? So just bear with me. It won't be that much longer. We'll continue on. I told you I was going to be back. Welcome to Hell Warmed Over. No, seriously. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's my weekend already. And I'm happy that I have the day off. Next is over to Careful Laval. Get some exercise done. Need to get my exercise. If I don't get that done, then I'll probably pile of poo. No, but everybody should actually get some exercise done. I'm an advocate in regards to that. Not many people will do it, or some people don't have the mindset. I've always tried to do it for the last couple of years already, of at least doing 10,000 steps a day, minimum. But sometimes it's hard in regards to it. I mean, even for myself now, since I'm working, to get the 10,000 steps that I usually need to get in for a daily routine. So every chance that I get to go for a walk somewhere, I go do it, because the simple fact is it gets done. That way it's less of a headache later on, and I won't be stressed out saying, okay, I need to get this, that, and the other thing done. That's one thing I need to do for myself personally. And most people asked, it's like, hey, you lost some weight, or you're a lot thinner than you were before. And I tell them my secrets. It's nothing to hide. Many people think it's a silly thing to do, or I shouldn't say that they should be shy in doing it, but everybody should need to get at least a little exercise done every day. Just for the simple fact, especially if you're sitting around in an office setting, it makes it that much more difficult to get your exercise done. And considering I sit down in IT most of the day, you're darn right it's going to be a lot harder to get done, because simple fact is that you're sitting down all day and you're basically, watching what you have to do for work, or if you're a programmer, as an example, sitting down writing code all day, it makes things hard to do. And I know that as a fact, because I've done coding myself, or at least learning coding way back in the day, and it's hard, and it's literally hard, and not many people realize that or understand it. Those who are in the warehouse, and I worked in the warehouse, they get their daily exercise regularly, especially if they're moving a lot of, products, like whether it's the computer, moving computers to get them shipped out for the following day, or if you're doing something that requires a lot of movement in regards to, products, whether they're, stuff, like for food, as an example. I used to do that quite a bit, and that used to get a lot of exercise making orders. Some people just don't realize how much exercise you really need on a daily basis. And I try to do that on a daily basis, is make the time for it. There's no time like the present to get it done, and I'm an advocate of that, and I've been doing that for the last 2 years. And also enjoying my time as playing billiards with colleagues and all that. One of my brother actually found out that I was actually doing billiards and all that, and he's kind of happy that I took on another little hobby. So he likes what I've been doing, And now since he has a family and all that, I know he probably won't have the time to do billiards, but when he does get older and his daughter is old enough to come and join us, I would definitely invite, definitely have them come together, do it as a family thing there. And no, not to the seedy billiard halls, somewhere where it's decent and, kids can actually play there too. Because I'm quite sure there are some billiard places that actually do that, so I'm always on the lookout for things like that, because because of kids and all that, and family, and that's one thing I tend to try to keep most of the time in that area. And since I'm also kind of a father too, and my daughter is already that age, that ripe, not that ripe old age, but that age of being a young adult, I can bring her over to places that that she can actually go with somebody. But I'm planning to do that with the intent of making sure she doesn't do anything that I wouldn't approve of. So that's one thing I've learned. Anyhow, I'm gonna go inside and get my exercise done. I'm gonna have to grab something to eat as well there. So hello folks, back from going for my exercise and eating a nice slice of pizza down at Carrefour Laval here. So next off to the scratch, and I'm going to videotape myself playing pool so you guys can laugh on how badly I played. Actually, I'm not going to say I'm a professional at it. I am no way in luck of being a professional, but practice always helps. So that's what I'm going to do. And tomorrow, pool with my friend Steve. So you're going to get 2 days in a row of me playing pool, or at least trying. Anyhow, so let's head over and shoot some pool. It's going to be one of those good things I'm hoping. Hopefully I'll do well, a lot better than I was doing before, and have a good time at it. There's always going to be something about playing pool that's always going to be tricky, and I've noticed this when I'm playing pool too. When I started to learn how to play when I was like a young kid, always shooting the ball in the middle type of thing, doesn't always help. So with the tutorials that I have, videos, it shows you some of the tricks that the professional pool players use. So I've been using that, or learning how to use that, and practicing with it. So it has helped out to some degree in getting the balls in. So when I get there and we got it set up there, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's something you have to practice doing while playing pool. It's not one of those things that you'll be a master overnight, because There's so many variables in it. You know, how hard you hit the cue ball, the amount of spin, the you know, how much draw you can put onto it, how much follow you can put onto it. Those things are always going to be a given variable that will make the shot either work or not work. So that's always the thing that I've been trying to do, is trying to perfect and improve on my shots, because that's the only way of doing it. So myself, I know I'm not the greatest pool player in the world, but I'm there, you know, having fun. That's the main goal of playing pool with your colleagues and friends. It's just to basically have a good time. I'm not going to go through a lesson by lesson. Most people can actually take a look on the different YouTube channels that are out there in regards to learning how to play billiards. You can even put it up in the search engine on YouTube, and you'll get different people explaining almost identically the same thing in regards to it. So that's one thing I know for sure has a lot of variables to deal with, and you're trying to combine all those variables to make a good, perfect shot. Even myself, I mean, even even though I think I'm standing right, sometimes I'm not, and I don't realize it. It's always a hard thing to come about in regards to those things. So it makes the game that much more fun and that much more challenging. And the one thing I've also noticed too, when I was going through the tutorials myself, some tutorials they have, like the one that I'm using, that I got through Canada Billiards, which was using a mathematical equation in order to use the diamonds on the table itself. So that there in itself happens to be kind of helpful depending on the situation. Not all of them are going to be usable or universal all the way around, and it also depends on the table itself, which is one of those things that they mention as well, because going from table to table, depending on the table itself, whether you're in a pool hall as an example, where it's going to be 4x8 or 7x14 pool table as an example, will be different than the ones that you have at home, which could be anywhere between 3.5x7 to, let's say, 4x8 for a regular billiards table, you know. So that's always a given, that some things will work, others will not. And this is one thing I found interesting as well. You know, like the local pubs, they'll have these coin-operated pool tables, and I didn't even know this at that time. They even mentioned that, you know, the cue ball might be slightly bigger than the standard cue ball that you use at a pool hall, or at what you would have from home. Simple fact, because the way they have the tracking system to bring the balls back for the next game is different. So this ball might be slightly larger or slightly heavier in comparison with the other ones. And some of the tricks that you do, or some of the stuff that you'll be doing with the cue ball, may or may not work. And that I didn't know myself until this was actually brought up. That's the one thing. It's like interesting, you know. So you always learn something new. And me being kind of like a geekazoid and liking little bits of knowledge here and there, it's one thing that was intriguing for me. So let me get over there. I'm going to disconnect for now, and I'll see you inside the scratch. So I'll see you there in a few moments, instead of dragging you all the way through.
wanted to show up. My battery's nearly dead. I changed it out for the other one, but I wanted to show you the pool cue that I'm using. I actually picked this here up at Canadian Tire. It's one that's more or less universal that you can pick up almost at any local not convenience store, but at, like, say, Walmart. There are specialty places like Canada Billiards that you can actually pick up more professional ones, ranging anywhere between $40 and over $900 that I've seen there. Those ones are really good quality here, but this here is something good to start off with, which I have. Here it is. I picked up myself a carrying case. This is a graphite 58-inch pool cue. It's actually fiberglass and graphite in it, and also a glove there that I've been using, as you see in the game that I've been playing. So that's what I've been using for the game of pool. As you can see, I'm not that great, especially playing alone, but you'll see tomorrow when I'm playing against my friend Steve there. So let's head home. It's time for me to say goodbye. And there's the scratch. Well, we were just in before, so good place to play pool. As you can see, I was really lousy today in regards to it. Tomorrow, I'm going to be heading back here anyhow with my friend Steve, and I'm going to show you the other pool cue that I have as well. That way you get to see both of them. I only showed you one of the two that I usually have. And the one thing, if you are interested in learning more about billiards, especially learning how to play it, if you go on to one of the other YouTube, there's not a specific channel on YouTube, but if you put in Mastering Pool, there is one called Mastering Pool that was done through a company called Canada Billiards that actually distributed it here within Quebec. And they do have lessons that you can actually learn online to how to hold the cue, how to stand, how to properly hit a cue, and some techniques of being able to hit the cue ball, and also using the different techniques on the cue ball to give it, the English that you need, the type of skidding on it, the rolling, the follow through, and all that, which is definitely going to be helpful. And I try to implement it in every game I play. It's sometimes hard to do because you don't know, depending on the table itself. That's where it takes a little practice, and practice makes perfect. So till next time, folks. See you.